Good morning and welcome to Trio Invitational 2026. We are live here at Putrajaya Equestrian Park here in Kuala Lumpur, bringing to you the semi-finals games of the men's division between Fyshwick and Vikings men. Together with me is Jared. Hi Jared, how are you good today?
Hey, what's going on, John? We are ready. I am excited about this one. We are into the semifinals of the Open Division.
Yep. So both Fyshwick and Vikings have been coming out very strongly in the group stages, progressing really well in their semi-final games. I think Fyshwick managed to score cap their previous opponent, but Vikings had a rather nail-biting match between themselves as well as
Haechi.
Yeah, Haechi, the Korean team.
Yeah, call that a bit of an upset. They had to come back, and they fought through with a 15-13 victory in the end. A little bit of an upset to create this rematch of a pool play game yesterday, which Fyshwick. I don't know, having trouble saying that. Fyshwick.
Real tongue twister there.
Fyshwick won, was it 13-11 yesterday. But, so Vikings seeing themselves as an underdog coming through this whole tournament. They ended up in 9th place in the tournament last year, but into the semis right now, and these guys have played before. They played in a battle. This is going to be a battle. Disc is going up in the air. This is going to be fun, people.
Yeah, really excited for this team. I think everybody's watching the semi-finals games here in Putrajaya. A lot of them have moved towards the field 9 to watch this take place.
So yeah, Fyshwick won the previous game between two teams. Fyshwick is undefeated in the tournament so far, but they haven't had the easiest run. They did have a pretty easy quarterfinal, taking out Struggle Bus 15-4, but yesterday, like I said, they beat Vikings in a 13-11 match, Pink Dolphins 13-9. They edged out Caremen 9-8 and beat Nimbus 13-8. So they have faced some scrutiny in the run into the semifinals. And Vikings men are one of the teams who gave them some of those problems. So this disc is going to go in the air. This is going to be fast and furious. I'm ready. 2 minutes to go.
Yep.
Fields have generally been in pretty good condition. I'm seeing this little sandy area on the near side of the field. And I'm going to wonder if that's going to come into play at some point. It can be difficult when you're dealing with different types of surfaces on one field. Generally, the field has been beautiful, holding up really well. Lovely Bermuda grass.
I heard you learned about the grass type just yesterday. I'm learning it today, in fact.
It's important. It's important to know what these players are running on. So yes, here we are here in Putrajaya, Malaysia, and we got a semifinal matchup, between a team from Brisbane, Australia, and Brunei. So it's a pretty cool matchup. Very rare in any sport to have a matchup between Bruneians and Australians. So this is a pretty cool opportunity. And for those who might be tuning in from who knows where in the world, if you are tuning in from the U.S., happy Independence Day. It's still July 4th there, so happy Independence Day. But wherever you are tuning in from, if you don't know where Brunei is an independent sultanate on the north side of the island of Borneo, tucked between a couple of Malaysian provinces there. Small country, very friendly place, nice people. And they have actually a really great per capita ultimate scene there. A lot of players, university championships, gender championships. Really great ultimate scene for a very small country. And it looks like we are about ready to go. See Fyshwick taking the field. Meandering.
One takes Spardos. Yep. Here's Aeon. Elijah, AJ.
Yep. Let's go, Aeon!
All right, the clock has started. Should be about ready to
Here we
go.
go, Fyshwick, here we go!
90 minutes to the soft cap. This is a game to 15. Games are a little bit longer today, which works. It's a big Sunday here in Putrajaya.
Let's go, fellas! Let's go, United!
Yep, with the added game time also, they've also introduced in the quarterfinals onwards to a little halftime during the 45-minute mark, as well as the 8-point mark. As we see Vikings getting ready to have their poll.
Yes, United!
Vikings in black will start with the
Oh,
poll.
Fish! Yes!
And like I said, there's a 90-minute cap, but I don't think we're going to need that in this game. These are going to be some fast points. They're going to be going right at each other. Very athletic teams.
See multiple deep runs coming out straight away. Deep shot coming out deep into the arms of 28 of Fyshwick. Very quick and easy point there. As you mentioned, Jared.
Right on cue, 2 minutes, 25 seconds in, we have our first score, and we didn't start until 2 minutes in. So, yeah, that was pretty quick, and we're going to see a whole lot of that. Disc is going to go up. This is going to go up a lot, and Vikings like to play that game as well. Oh, yeah, I said Brisbane, Canberra. That's what I meant. Same thing, right?
Not too far apart.
So Canberra, I'm not exactly sure where Canberra. I know it is the capital. I mean, my biggest question is, will they be supporting blue or maroon on Wednesday? So please, I'd like you to get into the chat box and tell me. And my partner here, no idea what I'm talking about, but you know.
I have no clue. I thought it was FIFA, but unfortunately,
My housemate
Australia
Dermot,
got
ex-housemate.
eliminated yesterday? Was it yesterday?
All right, Vikings take over. Ball doesn't make it to the goal line, but Fyshwick comes down. The pressure comes fast, and I called their game earlier, and you see that a lot. Their pressure comes very quickly. Even if the pull doesn't go super deep, the defense will be there as soon as the pull lands. And we did see this in the earlier game. Fyshwick's defense pushing back the Viking offense. Vikings already struggling early to find some open space. Working backwards.
I love the mark on the defense on the handler, like forcing them to push the disc behind, just to gain a little bit of space and resetting the stall count. But Vikings able to move the disc forward now. And an interception by the Fyshwick player. And again, right back by the Vikings men. And possession is now in favor of Vikings.
Hurry! Open side!
And a deep shot comes out from the Vikings men looking for a deep runner into the arms of the Vikings runner who outspeeds his man. Very comfortable catch by him.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to be seeing a whole lot of deep shots in this one early from both sides. I think the Fyshwick side is going to be a little bit physically larger than the Viking squad, but the Vikings travel really, really fast on this ground right here. Daniel Lucky picking up the disc right now, a veteran from Brunei Ultimate. bringing out the D line.
A little bit of history between the Malaysian players for both Vikings men as well as Fyshwick. The captain or the ex-captain of AUR is playing in Fyshwick, who is playing a lot of his teammates who are in Vikings men now. So that's an exciting matchup and a little mini reunion between players.
And it goes up big and right into the hands of AJ. AJ's been finding a lot of end zone lately. AJ's the oldest guy on the team, 38 years old, been playing for 17 years, spent time with Clapham and Ellipsis. Has gold at the U.S. Open, bronze at Worlds in London, multiple beach goals, and for some reason also likes netball. Not sure about that one. And away we go, Fyshwick up 2-1 early. Fast and furious. Couple turnovers that last possession. But ain't no thing.
So that is one with the disc that I mentioned previously, who was previously on AUR but has recently moved to Australia.
Yeah, I see there is a number of AUR players on the Vikings squad as well. Are those folks who have moved to Brunei or just picking up for this tournament?
I think they're just picking up for this tournament, but there are a couple of friends back in the days when they played in AUR, and I think some moved to Brunei, but majority of them now are actually in Malaysia.
Really good, Jordy.
All right, Vikings moving the disc very nicely up the field.
Go, Jordy.
And a beautiful save there. Missing his mark initially. Oh, and unable to get the second attempt there by the Vikings men.
Hey, control now, control.
Yeah, just couldn't squeeze that disc. You're not going to want to make that many mistakes against this Fyshwick team. And they are going to want to go fast, picking up the disc, not walk it up to the end zone. But we do have a pick. It's going to go back a throw or two. Let's see where it's going to.
Still got a jack. Still got a jack.
And Fyshwick brings it back in. And cannot complete the dump. They looked upfield, tried to take the safe throw. But goes straight to ground. Ooh, and
One coming with an interception real quick. Oh, but I think there is a little call there.
Vikings tried to attack that front corner of the end zone. But Juan pulled right over. But he may have got some body. We have a little bit of a discussion on the field. And I feel like I say a lot for those of you at home who might not be as familiar with the sport here, this is self-refereed. You are not going to see any referees come on. This is all handled by the players. And for those of you who know a good bit about International Ultimate, there are not game advisors here either. So this is going to be fully self-officiated. Now you can ask people on the sideline for their perspective. They can tell you their perspective if you ask for it, and it looks like the players are interested in what the sideline has to say, but it was not enough to move beyond a foul contest, which is probably the most common result in these discussions. Still on the goal line for Vikings trying to tie it up, a little bit of a violation of some sort. Sometimes resetting, people move a little too early. And away we go. Vikings consider forcing it into that front corner. Instead, take the easy dump back. Still looking at that front corner. They go right at it, and that's a score to tie it up.
Very, very nice play from Vikings men out there, using their speed into the end zone and squeezing the disc right there, like, as you mentioned, to the front of the end zone. Well done by Viking men.
Yeah, a lot of times when you're up at that front of the goal line, that front cone is very, very tempting, and sometimes you want to look away because the crowd gathers. You can see 3 Fyshwick defenders eyeing that spot, but none of them were able to get there. So it was, in the end, a successful strategy by the Vikings. Because one thing Vikings have, they are very, very quick. They're fast, but they're also quick. So they can go from 0 to, I got to figure out what units of measurement we're using. We'll say 0 to 100 in no time.
Go on, Fish! Here we go!
Here we go, Fyshwick.
Here we go!
And RB with the score there. He had a big game in the semifinal win against Heichi with 6 assists, it looked like. 6 assists, leading the Vikings charge in that one. Fyshwick takes over. Viking side, but to give them a little space up the sideline. Looking to where that's, look to work it up the sidelines, but it is closed down quickly by the Vikings defender. Vikings take over the disc with a shot to take the lead. But Fyshwick holds possession.
And Fyshwick tries to move the disc upward in the middle of space, looking for multiple deep runners, and he spots one deep runner going to the left side of the field and signals of inbounds. Very nicely done by the Fyshwick ultimate player, just making sure his toe stays in while he catches the disc.
Yeah, being able to catch the disc and watch your feet, at the same time is quite a skill. I can barely do one thing at the same time.
Yeah, that was amazing control of his body there. The Viking player just knew it instantly, puts his hands right up, signaling a goal.
Fyshwick goes ahead, takes the lead 3-2. Swatos from Hartfield. Swatos has been playing for 12 years, has seen some time on the Australian Masters squad, played for at World Beach Championships in 2025. And had a big day yesterday with 6 goals, 5 assists. And also contributed a good bit to the quarterfinal win over Struggle Bus earlier.
Let's go, Fish! Let's go, Fish! Go, Paul, use it!
What a beautiful pull, landing just inbound there.
Vikings find some space. Works back, look to get it around. Fyshwick on tight. Stall goes high. Fyshwick takes it away. Not much to look at. Fyshwick takes away. Anyway, they're looking at the end zone very close, just about 5 meters out. Looks at the front cone, goes backwards to work around once again. Seeing cuts to the front cone. Vikings cutting everything off. Fyshwick taking their time, but then they see an opening. Good enough. That is a score. That is 4-2 Fyshwick.
Talk about that interceptive play though, the layout D there. I think that was what gave them morale to push through, and then a very, very patient score by Fyshwick over there. Look at that D again. Full extension layout there.
Yeah, beautiful layout, but that is definitely one, I would rack that up on the stat sheet as a team defense, because I think that's a throw the Vikings did not want to make for that exact reason, but they were really locked in because the stall was getting high, and the Fyshwick defense had locked down on everyone else downfield, giving the Vikings very few options upfield, so they had to basically throw into that layout block.
Yeah, definitely.
And we do got some Vikings fans in the chat. Harrison Paul to DHS. Or sorry, DHS to Harrison Paul. And 4-2 Fyshwick's over Vikings. But thanks for tuning in from Brunei. Get some Brunei love in the chat.
When you cut deep, I just like put it out in the position and form it kind of back. So it just makes it simple. Let's go, Fish! Lovely Jaws!
And pull goes up. Now, Vikings did come back in their previous game, so a 4-2 deficit is nothing. They've played internationally a good bit.
Underneath him. Left hand, left hand, left hand.
To some degree, you might think that the Vikings have actually a little more international experience than Fyshwick, though a lot of the Fyshwick players have played on Australian national squads. Fyshwick, as a club, hasn't traveled internationally since 2009. You know, the club itself is celebrating their 20th anniversary. Many of the players have international experience, but as a club themselves, they haven't traveled outside the country much. Vikings don't have many good options. Fyshwick very, very close. Vikings are pushing it through with these slow passes. I'm going to tell you, this is not what they want to do right now. They would much rather move it down the field. These slow passes, though, each one are pretty high percentage. The percentages eventually will catch up with you, and you could be forced to throw into a block like before. Vikings struggle finding an open Daniel Lucky who can't quite squeeze the disc. Once again, that's exactly what I was saying right there. These are high percentage passes, but if you're forced to throw a whole bunch of them in a row, eventually something will go awry. Fyshwick takes over, trying to take the lead by 3. Looking down the sideline, not much room to work with, but just enough to complete it. Still going down the sideline. Finding some space right at the goal line right now. And it floats across the field. A lot of open space. And there's a body down. Looks like the score counts.
Just looking at the highlight again. There's a couple of upline throws down the right side of the field, and then just by one high backhand, high release to the other side, opens up the field for Fyshwick with the score. Very nicely done by Justin to spot that runner going end zone.
Score by Jack Donnelly from everyone's favorite roommate, Justin Byron. And that's enough for a 3-point lead by Fyshwick. This is kind of the point in the game where you do not want this lead to go too much further. Vikings are fine playing from behind, but they would rather not. I know, brilliant. This is brilliant analysis. This is what you guys are paying for this, for your YouTube. For. Yeah, I'm going to drink some coffee now.
Yes, Jordy! Yeah, Jordy!
All right, love you guys. The Bruneians are getting loud in the chat. Awesome. Vikings take over, down 3, 5-2 in this semifinal. Very, very close to a block, but Vikings hold possession. Still working it short. Just a bit short.
Easy!
And Fyshwick takes over, looking to expand the lead to 4.
Do less! Stack! Do less!
Fyshwick with a quick couple of flicks to the end zone. Slowly starts down play with a push pass. Looking for upline here, and tipped by the Vikings player to intercept that play. I really thought they was going to score there, but Vikings just inched out over the Fyshwick player, gaining possession now. And they look like they are in for that play.
Vikings work good across the field. Trying to force down the line, got a little space. Find space on the sideline. Is this going up yet? Not quite yet, but they're still being able to work it up. And once again, just a little too pretty. Just these little short passes. And not quite going to it just waiting on it a little bit. He's jumping towards the goal line and not moving towards the disc. And the Fyshwick defender takes advantage of that and goes right at the disc, takes it away. Fyshwick takes possession once again. And it goes up. It is high. This is big. There's some bodies going up. Takes it down.
Time! Let's go!
That was just one. Putting it up in the air. Let's go mano a mano on this one. And good enough for the score. Going to extend the lead to 6-2. Probably not exactly what he wanted that huck to look like. Was probably looking for something a little flatter. Vikings go back with 2 defenders. And the score at the front of the end zone. And 6-2, Jordan King from Mark Shillard.
I don't. That's why I'm just going to generally talk in the handler space because that's what they want, the dominators. So even if your
That
player's
Mark Shillard
down here,
taking down that contested throw over the 2 Vikings defenders.
I know if it goes deep, I don't need to run down. We got the.
He did have steps going way deep, and that's where they wanted to put the huck. But they said, "Nah, let's put you up. Let's have you bat a little bit." And Mark Shillard pulls it down and earns the assist. This goes up, deep pull halfway into the end zone. Daniel Luck takes this. They're moving up the field, up the far sideline, down 2-6, trying to find something deep. They want to open us up this field. They've been turning the disc a little bit on these short throws. The swing is contested hard. The inside throw is contested hard, but they do find a short break mark. Space in the middle of the field. This is Vadim looking upfield. Dump. Daniel wants it inside, doesn't get it. Vikings hold possession. Very quick, short throws. It holds up a little bit. Vadim fights for it. Will there be discussion? No. Vikings continue their possession just a few meters out of the end zone, work towards the brick mark. Important possession right here. Red zone efficiency, one of the kind of telltale stats for victory in this sport. And this is an important one with Vikings down by 4. This is one they're going to want to convert. And this is also the problem they've been having so far is with these short throws. So with the short field, this is going to be difficult for them, but they do have the experience and the athleticism to do it. And right as I say athleticism, Vadim can't squeeze the disc, and he's one of the leaders of this team and has been coaching this team, and he just cannot squeeze it. He looked like he was looking upfield a little bit, trying to figure out his next throw before securing the disc. Fyshwick takes over, finds it to the middle. Looking deep, but very patient, going around the field, and it looks like we're going to come back for a pick.
Slightly less.
Yeah, for real, too, number 28, Mark Shillard, he can go up. That was a battle. Absolutely. Talking to the chat right now. Considers going up big. But they work the field, and little too Blady finds the Bermuda grass. Turnover rolls out of bounds. Vikings take over down 4. And Daniel's looking upfield. He wants to send it. Nothing upfield. He does have some open space in front. And that is big. Big block. He looked like he had some space on that short throw, and that was cut off very quickly. Massive layout block.
That was crazy. It's just a change in direction in the layout D coming out from number 27 of Fyshwick, denying Viking in their
Jack
steps.
Donnelly. Massive. And it goes up.
Looking for him in a deep space.
Like,
Just a
Jack,
bit too
you
high.
earned it. You earned it. Let's give you a shot to get on that scoreboard. Get you the bookends. Was not to be. A little bit of a misread. They had two defenders back there. Jack trying to find it in a crowd. And it had the leaps just, disc held up in the air just a little bit. Doesn't seem like there's much wind out there, but I have seen the disc float up and down, get pushed around just a little bit, and I think we saw that right there. Jack thought he had all of that, and the disc decided he did not. Timeout on the field. Vikings men will take over possession when they come out. Dermot Henderson, do they really call Jack the Jandler? Do they call him the Jandler? Please. Do they? If they do, that's kind of awesome or kind of not. I'm not exactly sure. But please verify. All right, timeout. We got under 63 minutes left, so we got a whole lot of time in this one. I don't see that coming into play, but we will see if Vikings can string together a few scores, and this is close near the end. That time might come into play, but so far I'm not seeing it. Fyshwick up 6-2 in this open semifinal here at the beautiful Equestrian Park in Putrajaya, Malaysia, just outside of Kuala Lumpur. And here in Malaysia, we're coming up on just about 11 o'clock, meaning it's close to lunchtime. And here in Malaysia, eating is very important. There is such wonderful things to eat. I'm very excited for lunch. Of course, I'm very excited for this game too, but the stomach is rumbling a little bit. The food here is amazing. If you haven't been to Malaysia, definitely recommend a trip. Kuala Lumpur is one of the great cities in the world, but also Malaysia itself is a very amazing, diverse place with mountains and beaches and forests and a very diverse, interesting, friendly mix of people who have been very welcoming to me. And I'm very happy to be here. By the way, my name is Jared, and I am based in Siem Reap, Cambodia. Come visit me there sometime. And we restarted Vikings with a little bit of give and go. They are looking upfield. He wanted to go deep on that. He wanted that higher. Disc did not move over 1 meter off the ground. Came out of his hand wrong. He wanted to do what Vikings do, but it was not to be. Fyshwick takes over, works it around, down the field, and they could be looking up big. Nope, thinks better of it. Goes back, going to go across the field first. Seeing a lot of space. Some physical defense by Vikings. Floats it up and able to take it down and toe the line. I would think for Fyshwick maybe a little closer than they wanted on that score. Maybe a little too precise, but that will work. The point goes up. Scoreboard, that one. Very close, but clearly in. That's going to be 7-2 for Fyshwick. And that's going to take us to 7-2, but I have to say, I feel like this game is closer than 7-2. Fyshwick has been able to execute and score, and that's what you're trying to do. But this has been a battle. Joshua takes it from Elijah Yu. Elijah Yu is the youngest player on the team at 20 years old and played for the under-20 Australian national team. All right, Fyshwick to pull, try to take the game to half. Vikings still looking to instigate their speed game, their high-flying game. They tried it in the last possession. They wanted to huck. They just didn't execute the throw the way they wanted to. Then try one more time. Pull lands right at the goal line. Fyshwick is in the Vikings' face immediately. Vikings find a little bit of open space. 2 throws, take it to the near sideline. But you see there's 3 Vikings players at one point were just behind the disc, and that's not how they want to be playing. They want to be moving the disc up the field. And once again, Vikings, they're able to hold possession, not without a fight though. But we're going to see there's a bit of a call. Looks like the Fyshwick player perhaps doesn't appreciate something. I'm not exactly sure, but we're going to restart.
Looked to me like I think he was calling a travel there. As he caught the disc, he turned his body straight away for a throw.
That could be possible if the players decided they wanted to use some hand signals. That would be helpful as well for us up here. Looks like they're going up one throw. And there it is on the sideline. I'd say Vikings do not want to be throwing that dump straight backwards along the sideline, but it did work in this situation. They are able to get around the mark towards the middle, into the sand pit in the middle of the field. Beautiful step around break. But still, this is much more of a short ticky-tack game than Vikings want to be playing. They want to use the open field, use their legs. All of these throws, though high percentage, once again, the percentages will beat you at some point, but they're able to get it up towards the sideline, still looking upfield, using the open space. 3 players behind the disc, but finding the open field cross with the inside out. Vikings work it across just at the goal line. Important to be efficient, patient, and eventually he finds the short throw. Considered some bad ideas before that one, and eventually made the correct one. And that is a score, taking us to 7-3.
Yeah, Vikings working really, really hard there. We saw a couple of throws that weren't favorable, but they still managed to pull through. A couple of D attempts from Fyshwick, but Vikings still managed to squeeze it through the end zone and bringing the gap to a 4-point gap.
Giving them a little bit more of a lifeline before halftime. If the Vikings are able to pull off a couple more points, this is going to be a much more interesting game in the second half. Fyshwick trying to squash that and take half right now at 8-3. But the current score is 7-3.
I'm going to get on that Watch Mojo top 10 list again. Oh, fuck, I just remember it so bad.
The assist came from Ahmad Zulrfan Ahmad Zamri, who had a fine game in the upset against Hechi. He had 4 goals, 1 assist in that one. If they can get him active in this game, then Vikings can work their way back in. Oh, quickly, Fyshwick's able to knock it out of the sky. 2 very contested plays early, but Fyshwick holds possession. Vikings putting on pressure, but Fyshwick is able to move the disc up the sideline. Continues up the sideline and just outside the end zone. And that is enough space for them to work and to score and take half. That is half at 8-3.
Yeah, so Jared, halftime today works a little bit differently from yesterday. At the 8-point mark, teams will break for a 5-minute halftime. Get some time to rehydrate, relax those muscles, and strategize again.
In that case, we also have a long day, just like the players, so we're going to go ahead and take a few minutes of a break. We will be back right with you at the start of the second half, and that was Mark Shillard from Michael Hartfield for the score. See you in a few minutes.
So that is it for the halftime. We see the players starting to come back out from the shade. Fyshwick making their way back to the field as we prepare to start our second half. For those who are just tuning in, this is the semifinals match between Fyshwick Ultimate versus Vikings men in the men's division here in Trio Invitational 2026 over here in Putrajaya Equestrian Park just outside of Kuala Lumpur.
A very, very beautiful venue here. Good times. Beautiful what? Bermuda grass. Very flat, though. I would say the field that they're on right now does have some little sandy patches, which haven't come into play, luckily, so far. But they could. I did see in our last game they did. So away we go. We have Fyshwick to pull up 8-3. This is a game 2-15. And away we go. The Vikings out there. Let's see what kind of adjustments they have made coming out of halftime. I'm going to guess that they really want to try to find ways to open up the field because they've been playing very, very tight. Of course, a lot of that has been due to the very tight and athletic Fyshwick defense. From what we can see, looks like Vikings are coming out in a vertical stack. Finding an in-cut from the back early. They're considering the deep shot. He looks at it, not there. But they try to go along the sideline. And Fyshwick starts this half just like they left off the last one. Big, massive layout block by number 8. Taking possession and trying to extend this already commanding lead. Vikings know they're almost at the point of desperation right now. They need to be getting close on the defense. A little bit of a discussion. Could have been some contact between the foot and the arm there.
Good use of hand signals this time.
Thank you. Appreciate that, guys. Vikings playing tight. Fyshwick not seeing anything right now, but there is some sort of issue downfield.
Ones, be ready.
And Vikings catching up to their players. And we will go ahead and restart. Vikings perhaps playing a little more physical than before, trying to stay with these very athletic Fyshwick guys. They're close, but not close enough. Fyshwick able to work it across the field and up. And that just did not come out right. Absolute brilliant analysis right there. That is not what the thrower wanted to do. Unfortunate for them. Fyshwick is going to try to get the disc back on defense, but Vikings take over with a chance to narrow the lead to 4. Working across the field. Seeing an in-cut with not much additional space. The stall is getting high. He's got to step out, and he floats it up right to the Fyshwick defender. That was a team defense block right there. Fyshwick works it up through the sand, finds some open space. They're just a few meters out of the end zone right now, working to the field and working the middle of the field and across to the far sideline. Finding some room, it floats up. And once again, right on the sideline, but not on the sideline, inside of the sideline. That is a score. Fyshwick up 9-3. Yeah, that's one that the Vikings thrower did not want to throw, but he was forced by a high stall count. The defense from Fyshwick had forced him into that one. So that block I'm giving to the whole Fyshwick defensive squad right there. Fyshwick to pull again. Up 8-3 in this game to 15. Sorry, it's 9-3. They're up 9-3 now. We're going to wait for the score to update and verify. And we see Juan out there. And there is our update. Harrison Paul from everyone's favorite roommate, Justin Byron. We see Juan out there. This small in stature out there, but he has been big for this team. Very athletic. Covers a lot of ground.
Big D, Big D.
And away we go. Down on the defense quickly is Fyshwick. Daniel Lucky in the middle of the field for Vikings, finding some open space. Not able to squeeze it with all the other issues Vikings have had. Drops are going to just add to their problems. Ooh, and Fyshwick gives it right back. A little bit of help from the Vikings defensive, from another Vikings defender attempting a layout block. And that is a turnover. Vikings take over down 9-3. Seeing some open space. This is how they want to play the game. And looking upfield. And we have some issues. I think these kind of pick problems are coming from kind of an offensive setup that Vikings do not want. They do not want to have all these cutters hanging out together in the middle of the field. They would much rather have some action going on downfield. They don't want to be throwing 5-meter passes. That's going across. Good enough. Possession held by Vikings. Trying to work down the field, down the line. And taken away.
I like that pressure, Juan.
And a love tap by Juan. Folks who know each other well. Vikings hold possession. Violation downfield. And goes up across the field. Lucky looks for something big. It's not there. Does enough to keep possession. Ooh, a little bit of juggling, but enough to hold on to the disc. Working across. Not moving upfield right now. Not seeing much open in the yardage category. But this could go up. Still going short. Daniel looks upfield. Doesn't see it, but moves up the sideline. That's enough. Right at the brick line, 25 meters out from goal. And just short of the goal line. And that's enough for the score. The Fyshwick player asking for some communication. Not quite getting it. And Vikings able to put the score in to narrow the lead to 9-4. All right, Fyshwick to receive the pull from the Vikings after the Vikings score, narrowing it to a 5-point lead. And you'll have to excuse me if I do have trouble and get a little bit scared away by the Vikings' names. Vikings D-line comes out.
You got Dan? Andy, you're fine.
And I think the Vikings D-line defense has done quite well, actually, this game at pressuring Fyshwick. They've gotten some blocks, gotten some turnovers, forced Fyshwick into some very tight catches along the sideline. but it's about converting and getting these turnovers, and then having the D-line being able to push it in after the turn. Beautiful pull back of the corner of the end zone. Vikings not being able to get up there to cover that first throw. Fyshwick moves it up. And it goes up big along the sideline. Finding Svatos. Svatos with the score, bringing Fyshwick up to 10-4. It looked like the Vikings defender didn't expect that. He obviously has not been watching the game tapes. He's like, this guy, he's a Masters player. He's not actually going to the end zone. Yes, he is. He spends a lot of time there. He is played for the Australian Masters team at Beach Worlds. Been playing the game for 12 years. So when he sees an opening like that, he is going for it, and has spent a lot of time on the score sheet for Fyshwick this weekend. Yesterday with 6 goals, 5 assists. So yes, he is no stranger to the end zone. Fyshwick goes up 10-4. Looking to squeeze out 5 more points to stamp their ticket to the Open Finals here at Trio Invitational 2026.
There you go, Josh. There you go, Josh.
Vikings look upfield. They see some space underneath that is quickly shut off by the Fyshwick defenders. Stahl getting up, but they find a little bit of space to the far sideline. High backhand. Gets there just outside the brick line, considering some bad decisions. Pulls it back. Daniel Lucky with the disc. Resetting the Stahl, getting disc across the field, finding a little bit of open space out in front of the offender. Tries to go across, risky, but it works. Vikings score. And to say they needed that is an understatement.
You gotta help here, Dermy.
Great connection between the two Vikings men over there at the end zone. I think there was a point of a finger signaling he wanted to throw it to the end zone, and before the Vikings end zone runner was running, the throw came out already, and they just connected in the end zone. Very nicely played by them.
And was that Zamri with the throw? Couldn't exactly see who received it.
Both were wearing number 14.
Yeah, I think so. So we're just going to go Zamri to Zamri, and I think that's giving enough trouble to our scorekeepers on the field. I thought so, but I thought I was just crazy right there, and that was
not Zamri.
I'm confused.
So
I'm
it's
utterly
Ahmad
confused.
to Datu.
Excuse me. Yeah, maybe there's another. Maybe there's multiple 14s out there. I don't know. All love to my Vikings friends out there. All mistakes are mine and are based on my ignorance. I'm trying. All right, moves it over. Oh, not what AJ wanted to see there from that throw. Going back over to the Vikings, down 10-5.
Really hard. I know, trust me. Hey, we get this back. Do not get complacent, Fyshwick. Do not get complacent.
Vikings to pick up the disc. The disc will be picked up by someone who is not number 14. All right, works up this, and it goes up big early. That is floating. Let's see what happens, and it is big. Vikings with a great opportunity. Vadim pulled it out of the sky. Let's see if they can earn the point for him.
Go line, AJ! Go line, AJ!
Locked in on the sideline. A lot of help coming over, but Vadim's able to pull the disc down. Consider the sideline. Now he's going to look to the middle field. Beautiful inside out. Goes to the middle field. And it floats out here. And there is enough room. That is a big score by Vikings. It's good that Vadim got paid for being able to bring that disc down. Let's take a look at that one more time. Goes up in the air. That's experience right there. And the score. Cutter stopped, but he's like, oh, disc is up in the air. I better go get it. And he does. That's the score for Vikings, bring it to 10-6.
Oh, looks like they're implementing a heat break now as the weather comes up a bit hotter in the afternoon. So for those watching at home, a heat break happens every 5 points, and the players will take a little bit of a shelter in the shade for 4 minutes.
And I apologize for that one. Of course, then it doesn't end up being the Brunei names I screw up, but the Russian ones. That was Evgeny Sobolev who earned that one. Oh, what can you do with me? I don't know. Oh no, Sobolev with the score. I'm confused. I'm utterly confused. But that's my constant state. We are at timeout, 10-6. Oh, heat break. And we are back after the heat break for Vikings pole, narrowing the lead 2-4. And away we go. Let's see what adjustments both teams are going to make out of this heat break. Big pull halfway into the end zone. Fyshwick works it out beyond the sand. Finds some space on the sideline. Floats a little bit, but not enough that the Vikings are able to pull it down. They've worked down the sideline. Not much room to work with right there. AJ cut his cut off, seeing that there wasn't much to work with, and that is a turnover for Fyshwick. Vikings take over. Daniel Lucky picks up. Inside out down the line, looking big. Not quite there, but finding some space in the middle of the field. Recovers over to Lucky. Once again, the play is slowed down, but they're seeing some open space. He looked to go down the field far. It did not go far. Went right into a Fyshwick defender. Fyshwick takes over, floats it up.
Wow.
And that is working a matchup right there. This is somewhere where the Fyshwick bodies are just bigger when you see a matchup like that. You had big old Mark Shillard headed down there. Defense, big D, big important D by Pat Bethune, and it goes right on up to Mark with the score, punishing Vikings for their mistake. And that takes us to 11-6. Score pressure becoming an issue for Vikings, down 5 with Fyshwick just 4 goals away from closing this one out. You see some action going on in the background. A lot of fields laid out here at the Equestrian Park here in Putrajaya. An amazing venue for an ultimate tournament. Thank you all for tuning in. And I'm receiving gifts of food from my fans and fans who people I am a fan of as well. Thank you, Nicole Sum, for this little snack. And we are off. Vikings take the disc. Down 5. Working disc across. They go on to see something big upfield. Fyshwick pressing them, pushing them back towards the goal line. One of the 14s with the disc to another 14. Goes up, seeing space along the sideline. Gonna look, try to find someone downfield. It wobbles out, but it is in possession held. Vikings look, and it goes. There is a little bit of poach back there. This is going to be a tough squeeze, but he's able to do it.
Patience is a virtue, eh?
Oh, my. Let the Fyshwick defenders go up and fight each other for that disc. I believe that's Moksan taking the disc down, but I could be wrong. Very patient. I think he saw that he was not going to be able to out-battle the two Fyshwick bodies. Let them go after it, and he just waits for it on the ground. Smart play. Sometimes better to be smart than good. But he's
Sometimes
also
being
very
smart
good.
is good.
Andy! I got Mikey. Josh Sparta.
And Vikings defense line comes out. Down only 4 now. Fyshwick still in range.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Here we go, Finn. Here we go.
So that was Ijan to Irfan for the Viking side.
Here we go, Fish!
And Vikings to pull down
Fish!
4.
Go on, Fish! Let's go, Fish!
Nice pull. Fyshwick in a side stack on that far, on the near sideline, working down the far sideline, finding some space, and the disc goes down. Vikings take over. Seeing some space, they could go right to the end zone right now. Tried to counterattack. Instead, they hold back. Finding some space in the middle field, out by the brick mark. Resets the stack. Possession is king. Floats the disc down the sideline. They're just 1 meter out, and a score. Vikings with another one, narrowing this to 3. Fyshwick now up only 11-8. Right in there. Nice timing down the line for a big score by Vikings, narrowing it to 11-8. RB with another assist there, piling up the stats. But personal stats do not mean anything right now. It is about team. It is about fighting your way into the finals. Vikings seem to be shortening the rotation a little bit. Some players playing multiple points at a time. Seeing the potential end of their tournament coming, they are going to put their best players on the field to fight. They're down 3 in the semifinals. Big high pull finds way just inside the end zone. Vikings find their way down. Can't cut off the first pass. But there they are contesting the second. Moves up the field. AJ finds Swaptos down the line. Floats up to the middle of the field. Ouch!
Not coming, not coming. Good time.
Look to counterattack. A little bit of a struggle again. Just moving to start, but good enough. And it is up. Just doesn't come back into the field of play. Seems like the Fyshwick players are pointing that it did find a little bit of the field at some point, but just unable to finish. Vikings still down 3. Fyshwick taking possession. And it is up, lady, and it finds a receiver. Big bid, not able to finish it off. And it floats, and in the end, Swaptos with the score. He's feeling it a little bit. This has been a long game, a long weekend. But if Fyshwick keeps doing the work that they are doing right now, they're going to have one more game to go in this tournament, taking the lead out to 12-8. And that was assist by Mark Shallard to Swaptos to take the lead to 12-8. And Fyshwick to pull, looking to close this one out. 3 points away from a final.
Hey, good reset. Good. Comes on the run. Very nice knowing.
Hey, bring the noise now, yeah? Even if you play, help them out, help them out.
Yes, United!
Hey, we got voices?
Hey, Jay, bring the noise!
Here, G.
Hey, take Harry, Mikey.
And pulls up.
Josh. Take it.
Yes, Jordy.
This has been a bit of a difference between the team. Both teams are adept at pulling, but the Fyshwick defense has been a lot more aggressive getting down to attack the first throw. But Vikings are able to work up using that quick feet,
Yes, Jordy.
finding their way through the middle, and Fyshwick defense unable to stop it. And they could be looking towards the end zone.
6, 7.
Keep working.
Just outside the brick mark. Stoppage in play.
Andy, no upline. No upline, Andy.
Vikings still fighting, looking to narrow the gap to 3 late in the semifinal.
Not line, not line. Up! Up! Right side.
Works backwards to get across the field. Tight defense, but not tight enough. Vikings able to hold possession.
Jordy, Jordy, Jordy. Up!
Floats it up there, just outside the goal line right now. It's about execution, and that is good enough. Score, Vikings. Narrowing it once again to a 3-point game. 12-9. We're not done yet.
Looks like a heat break coming on to the field as the players take shade for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes.
I don't know either. And it is 32 degrees here in Putrajaya, Malaysia. Players' health taken very seriously here, giving them a little bit of time to cool down. But I will say that we are quite used to playing in this heat, and much more. Some of us playing in temperatures upwards of 40 degrees when you play in Southeast Asia. We play tournaments in some hot places during some hot seasons. But I would say I would probably appreciate a heat break when I play. Usually it doesn't even take 5 minutes for me to need it. Standing out in a couple minutes in the sun, and I'm usually pretty tired and sweaty. But that is what happens when you are old and fat. Thank you all for tuning in wherever you may be. And yeah, we are getting towards the end of our coverage here. We are in the open semifinals. We're going to have a few more rounds, and that's going to be it. So let's see. Let's catch some highlights here. Big step round, floats up, taken away. And yeah, there have been some big defensive battles. Goosh. Beautiful low backhand around for the score, keeping the Vikings men in this one. Patience is king. And even though I said earlier that time would not become a consideration, it's getting kind of close now. We are at 12-9, under 12 minutes. With the heat breaks coming in, we might be looking at a capped game in this one. Vikings taking advantage of a little bit of shade at the end of the field. I would say we're kind of lucky. We have a reasonably overcast day, but the sun does find its way through these clouds. And that's the thing. Playing out in Southeast Asia, we do everything we can to get out of the sun as much as possible, knowing what it will do to our strength. And Vikings take the line down only 3. Late in this open semifinal. I expect the Vikings to come out with some intensity on defense, trying to make something exciting happen, take that disc away, counterattack to narrow this to 2.
Here we go, fish!
Pull goes up high, very hangy. Is it going to come back? It does. Comes back about 2 meters into the end zone. Vikings hustle down this time, cut off second throw, but Fyshwick seems to space up the near sideline, and it goes up big.
Looking for one more in the end zone.
Dump and go.
He wanted to score. He wanted
Dump
to score.
and go. Yeah. Ratos to AJ. With a big throw, not going to get on the stat sheet, but I believe that was Alex Young with the huck there. One of the captains of the team, silver medalist at the Beach Ultimate Championship for Australia in 2025. But in the end, I believe that was Ratos to AJ for the score to bring Fyshwick up to 13 and only 2 points away from the finals.
Paddy, take 3. Paddy, Dane, take 3. Geordie on Josh, Andy on Jack, Piers on Dan, Mikey on Melon.
This Fyshwick team does look very fit and able, but I do wonder if the heat is going to be taking a toll on them. I know that probably the tournaments they play in Australia do play in some hot weather. But I'm not sure who they're going to be facing in the finals or if they're going to get to the finals. Not to count out Vikings too quickly. But just watching them, it looks like the heat could be taking a little bit out of them already. But anyway, Vikings take over, trying to narrow this once again to a 3-point game. Vikings have a little bit of hop in their step, seeing some open space, working disc up just outside of the brick mark. Going around a big bid. And that is a foul called. I'm not sure if that is actually a strip. The Fyshwick player, is that Elijah over there, considering the call. And in the end, let's see. Looks like no contest in the end. Foul, no contest. Possession will stay with Vikings. Dump goes back, stalls, reset, looking upfield. Finds some space down the line. Little bit of physical play right there.
Make sure we shuffle as well, yeah? Make sure we can bring noise all the way.
No malintent there, just some physical defense late in a very important game.
defense, Elijah.
Viking player able to continue.
Dan!
By rule, if you take an injury timeout, you may stay on the field if it is deemed to be the fault of your opponent. Daniel Lucky over here works over to the sideline, looks upfield, not seeing much, squeezes it up
It's reset, boys. It's reset.
just outside, 2 meters outside the brick line. They work it back to the middle, trying to get across the field, find more open space.
Dan, push him back.
Stop!
Big bid, but Daniel's able to squeeze it, holds on to possession for Vikings.
Jazzy!
Once again, Fyshwick forcing a lot of short little passes, percentage,
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
high percentage passes, but even the high percentage passes are difficult after a while. But a score goes across the field and floats up. Fyshwick defense tries to close on it, and
Good day!
did we just have a 14-14 score? I believe we did.
Another 14-14 score. It's some kind of connection they have there.
Some sort of deceptive strategy. But it is good enough to bring the game back to 3 points.
Nice, Mo.
They're looking. There's some love in the chat right there. Elijah loving on. They were loving on that big layout D, but worried that you would break your thumb again. Please don't do that. We definitely do not want Elijah to break his thumb again. Breaking it once sucks. Breaking it again would suck even more. Elijah, please take care of your thumb.
The unders, and then the 21st comes out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's some Beach Worlds experience out on the field for the Fyshwick side, and yes, they seem to be loving it in the sandy pitch there. It is home for them. All right, Vikings pull down only 3, 13-10, but we are inside of 5 minutes. So this will be a game to 15 or 14. Not sure yet. It goes up big. That is a big put.
So much steps in that guy.
Oh, yeah. Alex Young takes the score, and this will be a game to 15. Fyshwick extends the lead 14-10.
Check under the gut. No snakes. We're safe. We're safe.
Not exactly sure what is going on in that back corner, but
Little photo
I know
shoot.
what the photographer knows, and he got a shot of it, so I'm going to have to ask him later what we missed. But that is a score for Fyshwick, bringing them to game point 14-10. And once again, the math is very simple. Fyshwick needs to score 1. Vikings need to score 5. Alex Young from Patrick Bethune. And here we are at game point. Vikings against Vikings have seen themselves as underdogs through this whole tournament. Like I said, they got 9th at this tournament last year in the semifinals, seeing themselves as an underdog, but they have fought from behind before. They have been here, a lot of international experience on this team. They are going to use whatever they have left in their legs to try to traverse this field as quickly as possible. Fyshwick to pull. Their pulls have definitely been a weapon this game, putting it into the end zone and having their defense rushing down there to cover, if not the first, at least the second throw. Pull goes about a meter in, forcing the first throw a little bit back. Vikings start on their goal line, but are able to find a little bit of space. Early coming across near sideline. Interesting, number 7 really looked quickly back to the dump. Didn't seem interested in going forward, but is able to find his receiver, number 14, of course. Daniel Lucky has the disc. Oh, Daniel's not happy about that, obviously. But this is not done yet. Vikings got to get their heads back up, get the disc back on defense. Fyshwick looking for just a clean offensive possession right now, moving the disc across the field. Hangs a little bit more than they wanted, but that is a big leap. That is Jack the Jandler Donnelly picking it out of the sky. Fyshwick holds possession, considers going down the line, works to the middle instead. Vikings putting on pressure, but they're going to have to do a little bit more. And there's Juan looking into the end zone for Justin Byron, everyone's favorite roommate, with the score to finish it off and to put Fyshwick into the open finals of Trio Invitational.
Yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. A very good display from Fyshwick against Vikings men in this semifinals here in Putrajaya, as Fyshwick is able to close out the game 15-10. And very shortly we will find out who will be joining Fyshwick in the finals between DMG as well as No Fly Zone. As for Field 9 over here, this is it for Jared and I, and we will be back later on for the bronze medal match at Field 9 at 1:10 p.m. So stay tuned for that.
And I'll be back giving you some action, but I will be back for the open finals to see Fyshwick play against I don't know who yet. So I will be tuning back in for this team of broken thumbs and amazing roommates soon enough. Excited to catch you once again. Thanks for listening. See you soon.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Peace.